Let's get into Downtown Hockeytown, presented by Labatt Blue Light. Today's guest is former Red Wing and current member of the Fox Sports Detroit broadcast team, Todd Bertuzzi. Todd, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
Yes, a lot has happened since the last time that we talked, and we're going to hit on some Red Wings news before we get into the NHL playoffs. The Red Wings have recently decided that they are going to send a couple of their prospects, and really, Filip Zadina, we consider him a Red Wing at this point, so I don't even know if you want to use the term prospect for him, but he will be playing in the Czech Republic, and then Moritz Seider, last year's number 6 overall pick, will be playing in Mannheim, where he played before he was drafted by the Red Wings. What are your thoughts on this, and do you see this happening for more prospects?
Yeah, I do actually. I think, especially being that age, these kids have got to play. They got to get out there and play. And with everything in the air and no one knows what's going on, like I'm hearing maybe a January 1 start where the players got to report in December. I also have a son that plays junior hockey up in Hamilton. They're supposed to start December. But everything's up in the air. No one knows what's going on. But as far as the Wings prospect, more the merrier than get on the ice, get in game situations and play. Absolutely. I understand you run a risk of injuries and all that kind of stuff, but the development outweighs the percentage of a chance of one of these kids getting hurt. They got to go out there and play, and especially with the Red Wings in a rebuild scenario, and it's looking like it's going to be it's going to take some time. We got to get our prospects playing and playing at a high level.
Todd, to follow up on that, obviously it is important for the prospects, but I'm kind of curious if the Red Wings don't hit the ice until December and then a January 1st start, they're almost going to be off the ice as a team for almost 10 months. Do you possibly see maybe some of the Red Wing players themselves, the veteran guys, maybe exploring the European option?
Well, I think anything and everything's is a possibility. I know, speaking for me, if I'm a player and I'm in my mid 30s, this time is a good time to get healthy again and to regenerate, like to get my body going, just to take the get away from the year for a bit. It was a difficult year. It was a very long year. The older you are, the harder it is when you're going through seasons like that. So I think as far as the applicators, the Helms, the Glendenings, the guys who've been around, this might be a welcome time just to take a breather from it and let last year be last year and refocus and reboot and get themselves ready for the 2021 season.
We'll move on to talking about some NHL playoffs, Todd. I know you said you've been following it really closely. Who do you like so
Yeah.
far?
Hats off to these athletes and hats off to the NHL. They've put on an outstanding tournament. They really have. Like, to be honest with you, I'm so into this hockey watching and all that. I don't even know that there's no fans in the stands. I think the way they decorated the arena with all the different camera angles and all that, and really focusing just on the players. So you're not seeing them scan around too much of the building and all that. You're seeing a lot of, but the competitiveness, the how hard these players are playing. It's nasty. It's mean. I'm loving Calgary. I'm loving Columbus. I'm loving the Canucks. They had a tough loss last night against St. Louis, but the parity and how hard and how fast they're playing, like even that Tampa Columbus game that went 5 overtime, these dudes are still flying like it was still the first period, which is pretty impressive. Mind you, they had 4 months off, so they're eager to get out there and play. But the quality of the play and how hard these players are doing to entertain it, it shows why we have the greatest sport in the world in hockey, and they're looking first class, man.
Todd, I don't know if this is controversial or not, but Tuukka Rask, who wasn't a big fan of the bubble or the environment, but I couldn't agree with you more. When I'm watching these hockey games, I'm so engaged, I forget there's not fans in the stands. And the way the arena is, the whole presentation, I really do tip my cap to the NHL. But Tuukka Rask, people, the Bruins came out in full support of him, number one. I know Mike Milbury got in some
Yeah.
trouble for saying that he abandoned his team. You're a former player. You're a great former player. Where would you stand on this if a guy's in the bubble and he decides to leave?
I have empathy and I'm sympathetic towards players, their families, their privacy, their children, their kids. None of us know what's going on, so none of us can even say anything. He's obviously leaving for a reason. He said it's personal and family, so have a little empathy and a little bit of compassion, and just allow the person to be private. Like if for some reason one of you two didn't show up, I'm not going to speculate or try to find out why you're not on this show or why you're not. It's your personal life. Leave the guy alone. He went out there. He performed well. He's not bailing on a teammate. If he was, the players wouldn't have supported what was going on and all that. But when it comes to family, even though we consider our hockey family, you truly only have one family. You really do. When it's all said and done and you're retired, you have one family. It's the family that you came in the sport with and the family that you left with. So I have empathy towards the situation. I really hope that it's not serious, that everything, but there's more important things than hockey at some point in times.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Todd. But it does, obviously, in a hockey world, and I hate to say this, but it does affect the Boston Bruins that they're losing Tuukka Rask. So when you look at Boston now, they were actually a favorite to win the Stanley Cup. Do you still think they have it without Tuukka Rask?
Halak's been in the league for a long time. He's not a 1C goalie. He's a 1B goaltender. He can come in and he can play well. He can steal the show. He's not young. He's played in a lot of playoffs. He's played in a lot of tough cities in playoffs, which is Montreal too. So for them, they've always ran with their three top guys. And if Marchand, Pasta's got to get back, and then Bergeron, then obviously with Chara, Macro, they're a very, very deep team. So, and we when we're all talking about this, we all have to understand that this is a unique time in all this. It's actually a tournament, not the real. If you win it, kudos to you. You won the Stanley Cup. You just won it in a different way. I'm very traditional as far as the Stanley Cup, that you have to play the 82 games. It's the most impossible trophy to win. Everything has to go right. This is more of a world championship hockey to me, but I'm accepting it, and I'm actually enjoying it. But I do understand that this is just a tournament format, but whoever gets the Stanley Cup gets the Stanley Cup, man. My hat's off to them, and well deserved. But I look at a small picture. I'm actually just watching a tournament.
I was on the Red Wing Radio Network in 2002. We were in Vancouver for that series. I know that you're a godlike in Vancouver. I mean, you know, that line with Marcus Naslund and Brendan Morrison, good U of M guy. But I guess my question is, how surprised are you that the Canucks, a very young team, the upstarts, are giving the defending Stanley Cup champion so much trouble? And also, how impressive is Quinn Hughes that he seems to has made a seamless transition into this league?
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I have a radio show that I do in Vancouver on Tuesdays, so I've been doing it for the past 3 years. So I paid a lot of attention to that team, and I've gone back a handful of times as far as they honored my line, the West Coast Express. So I've been back. One of my good friends is the head coach, Travis Green. We speak frequently, so I know a lot's going on with that team. That team is built for success. They are young and they are good. They are talented. That Pedersen is he's going to be one of the top players, top 5, top 7. Hughes is going to end up being top 5. Bor Hovat is having a coming out party right now, the way he's playing. They got a handful of horses. Pierce and who's the kid that signed number 9? Miller. Miller's a beast on the wing. He plays the game right, goes straight down, and Travis has them playing the right way and do it. Basically, they're playing like St. Louis, just a little. Right now, it looks Vancouver has a little bit more depth offensively than what St. Louis has, and that Quinn Hughes, they can't stop him. I know that he made a bad turnover in his own in the offensive zone that ended up going for the breakaway in overtime, but for what he creates and how much open space he makes for the rest of the teammates, I can live and die with plays like that because he does so much more in the positive.
Definitely some very exciting hockey going on right now, Todd. I want to wrap this up with asking you one more question about the Red Wings. We know that they are picking 4th in the upcoming 2020 NHL draft. If you're Steve Yzerman, what direction are you going in with that 4th pick?
I will speak as a Red Wing fan myself. I love the Red Wings. I love the team. That was a tough one to swallow, not getting number 1, because I've watched Lafreniere play a lot, and I always called him little mini Crosby. I think he has a chance to be like that. He's very similar, so it was very hard. But at the same time, What overall did Quinn Hughes go? What overall did Makar go?
Right.
They didn't go 1-2.
4 and
They
7.
went
Yeah, right.
Later.
7, 8, whatever. So fourth is pretty good. You're sitting there. What do you need? I don't know. You're asking me. I'm a forward. I love offense more than anything. So the more offense, the more weapons we can get up front. I always find that you can build depth through unrestricted free agent and trading on the defensive side and bring in some stalwarts, some horses, and guys who can pull the sled. That's what we need in the back end, guys who can pull the sled. We need to be a lot meaner and tougher defensively. And I'm not saying fighting. I'm not saying crossing the line. We just need some warriors back there who can really push the pace. And I think for what we have right now, and we have the DeKaisers, we have players like that, but you can always upgrade and bring in a little bit more. But I think there's a room for improvement as far as, like I said, some horses to carry the buggy back there, and I think there's going to be a lot of players out there and guys out there for the Wings to look at. But you have to get offense, man. We need to score goals. You have to score goals. Remember what I said, though. I said it on air and all the time. I do. The fans don't understand how awesome it's been here for the past 26 years. You guys won the four cups while I was playing in the league too, and we had to play them a couple times, and I never won a cup, man. It's the worst thing in the world, playing 20 years in the league, not winning a cup, and seeing how much success Detroit had. It was a long time, a long run. I hope people understand and appreciate how awesome the organization was and has been and will get back to. So patience is going to be very important for the fans, and just know that it turned around when Steve Yzerman came here, and it's going to turn around again while he's at the desks now. So just got to be patient, and it's hard for these kids and all that. It's not fun losing, man. It really is, and it really sucks. But they're going out there, they're doing the best that they can, and we just got to hope that it happens a little bit sooner than later. But it'll be good.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Todd. Thank you so much for joining us today. You guys heard him. We got to be patient with the Red Wings. But again, thank you, Todd. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. And of course,
hopefully see you in 2021.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Definitely.
And a big thank you
to
to
guys,
Labatt Blue Light for presenting Downtown Hockeytown. Labatt Blue Light, refreshing Canadian Pilsner. Visit your local retailer when safe to pick up some Labatt Blue Light.